4 years ago, I replaced my standard doorbell with a Ring Video doorbell, which I like, but I now think I'm ready for an upgrade. So now I have this Ring Doorbell Pro. I got it cheap on Amazon. It was like $83. It's actually a refurbished unit, so it's not a brand new one, but for $83 I feel comfortable using something like this. And even though my Ring Doorbell 2 works, the $83 makes it worth it to try the upgrade. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to uninstall the Ring Doorbell 2 and install the Ring Doorbell Pro and walk through the process here. Okay, so we got our Ring Pro here. And I'm going to set this up. Okay, and before we do anything electrical, we want to turn off the breaker to the doorbell power. The first step that I took was uninstalling the old Ring Doorbell, which in my case was the Ring Doorbell 2. There's a Torx screw at the bottom of the doorbell that holds the faceplate on. You can take that off, and then you have access to the screws that hold it to the mounting plate. Once we have the 4 mounting screws off the Ring 2, we have access to the back of the Ring Doorbell, which has the electric hookups. This is the only thing holding on to the doorbell right now, so we just need to loosen these 2 screws and we can pop the whole doorbell off. There's going to be a couple of screws holding in the mounting bracket and the angle mount wedges if you use them. Remove these screws and you should be able to take those all off. But the old electric hardware wires that you used for the Ring Doorbell 2 should also apply to the Ring Doorbell Pro. I like using the angle mount wedges when I install my Ring doorbells, so pick which ones or which one you want to use for your install, and then line them up where the old doorbell used to be, and then we can screw them into place. I was able to use the same 2 holes that I had drilled for the Ring Doorbell 2 for the Ring Doorbell Pro. I don't know if it's an exact fit, but it's close enough that I was able to get the screws in even if they were on a little bit of an angle. I did notice though that the mounting screws that came with the Ring Pro were a little bit shorter than the original ones that came with the Ring 2 doorbell. I would recommend using the new screws for the Ring Doorbell Pro that are a little bit shorter. Once our choice of angle wedges and our mounting bracket is in place with our original hardware set up, we can now hook up and install the electric to the new Ring Doorbell Pro. Just like the old Ring Doorbell 2, it's not going to matter which wire goes to which side as long as you have alternating current. Just screw both sides in. Once the Ring Doorbell Pro is hooked up into the electrical, we can then screw in and mount the Ring Doorbell Pro to the mounting brackets. To do this, we're going to have to take off the cover of the Ring Doorbell Pro so we have access to the mounting screw locations. For the Ring Doorbell Pro, mounting the camera is really easy. There's just 2 screws, one on the top and one on the bottom to go into the mounting plate. Screw those in, and we'll be ready to move inside. The next step is a step that I wasn't expecting because it wasn't required for the old Ring 2 doorbell, and it involves finding your internal doorbell. After you've removed the cover, we're going to want to look for the sections labeled front and transformer, or just trans. We will be adding 2 connections to these sections from the included Ring Pro Power Kit. Just like the doorbell itself, it won't matter which wire hooks up to each side, as long as one is connected to the trans connection and one is connected to the front connection. Simply loosen the connection screws with a screwdriver, slide in the wires from the Pro Power Kit, and then tighten them back up. It should look something like this. Once you get to this point, you will want to remove the film on the sticky pad that's found on the back side of the power kit, and then stick the pack somewhere on the side of the internal doorbell, but make sure not to interfere with the bell mechanism. We can then replace the cover on the internal doorbell, and then turn the power back on to the doorbell from the breaker. The Ring Doorbell Pro may not be ready to set up immediately after turning on the power. The instructions say it could take up to 30 minutes for some people. Their doorbell will be flashing blue as the LEDs around the circle of the doorbell light up. After the lights have all lit up all the way around the circle, it will begin to be spinning with a white light. In my case, this probably took my doorbell closer to 40 minutes to get to this point, and I was just about ready to take it all down and give up on it right when I noticed it spinning with the white light. Once you do get to this point, you can slap the cover back on the doorbell and do the rest of the setup in the Ring app. To set up your camera in the app, open the Ring app and select the 3 line icons in the upper left. Then tap Set Up a Device. Pick Doorbell so that you can then indicate that you're ready to scan the barcode found in either the box or the device itself of your specific camera. You will then need to confirm your location, after which the app will actually walk you through the physical setup steps, including the install instructions that I've already demonstrated in this video. Eventually you'll be asked to click a button once you see the doorbell spinning white. If you're at this point like I am, tap on the button so that you can connect your camera to your Wi-Fi. If you don't see your network, select the option to find hidden networks. This is what I had to do, even though I don't think my network is actually hidden. I was able to tell the app the name of my network and I was finally able to connect to it. After which, the camera updated its software. At this point, your doorbell is essentially set up, and you just need to fine-tune it based on your personal preferences. Alright, the Doorbell Pro is now nearly set up. One of the final things that you need to do though is get underneath here, and you can see there's a little slot for a screw, and you just want to screw the cover onto the device. Now the screw end that you use is a Torx to make it a little less common. That way a random person with a screwdriver can't unscrew your cover and gain access to it, but it is just a Torx, this end here. As far as the differences between the Ring Doorbell 2, which Ring is now calling the Video Doorbell 2nd generation, and the Ring Doorbell Pro, which Ring is now calling the Wired Doorbell Plus, I've noticed that the resolutions between the cameras is very similar. However, the actual video of the Pro is smoother. I have also noticed with my older Doorbell 2 that sometimes the recording didn't start right away. There would be times where the recording wouldn't start until the person is already at the door and you barely saw them at all. The Ring Doorbell Pro starts its recordings a bit earlier so you can see them approach earlier on. So I really like the video quality with the new Ring, but one of the things I don't like is the latency. So I'm going to demonstrate this real quick. I'll hit the doorbell and you'll see it takes a few seconds for it to actually ring. And then it finally rings. It's not a big deal, it's only a few seconds, but the other one happened immediately. Another thing to keep in mind is that the older Ring 2 actually had a battery as well as having the option to wire it in. The Pro must be wired in. Since I already have the system wired up, the battery feature really doesn't benefit me. If my power goes out, my internet router is down anyway. The Ring Pro says it has a color night vision, which is kinda true when looking at well-lit parts, but mostly the videos look the same at night. So I can understand how someone that already has a Ring 2 doesn't see it worth the money or effort to switch to the Ring Pro. But for me, I'm happy with the smoother video and the earlier recording. The Ring 2 is a good camera and will work great, but if you really value the camera kicking in earlier, smoother video, or some of the additional motion zone and setup features with the Pro, and already have the Ring wired up and don't need the battery, only then would I say it's worth the upgrade. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you.